Seventh sign, plague. Very dangerous. Plague, when as a disease comes in one place, it spreads like fire, and people get sick in no time, and people start dying in no time. If you remember, I think if you remember history, about 700 years ago, about 1350s, there was this plague that hit Europe. 1/3 of the population, they vanished because of this plague. There was some disease because of rats and so on, and 1/3 of the population was just gone.
Abu Ubaidah also died.
Abu Ubaidah,
Abu Ubaidah, the Amin of Ummah.
the Sahabi. Yeah, there are two Sahabi, Abu Ubaidah and also Yahya ibn Umrah. He also died with plague. There was two Sahabi. So
called the ta'un.
in Arabic,
Ta'un.
ta'un. I see. So, but the thing is with the plague, in earlier generations before Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it used to be as a form of punishment. But for this particular ummah of Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, it's a mercy. It was made as a mercy. So Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that it is mercy for the believers. And what happens if we are in a place where a plague has already hit and we did not die, but we know that we have been affected by it or not, but we are still in that land? Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said that if that thing happens, then do not leave that land. Stay wherever you are. Stay wherever you are. Do not leave it. And also you should believe that nothing is going to happen to you except what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has destined for you. Don't just say that, oh, I'm going to die this plague. No, in your heart it's like, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills, I will live or I will die. All people will die, but I might remain alive because Allah willed it that way. That's the yaqeen, that's the belief that we must have in our hearts. And yeah, so the reasoning is that, if you get scared and run to different places, it might spread to different people. So that's why we should not go and run to different lands. Remain in that place. Your question?
Is it only a natural disaster hits where you're living? You can't. Does it also categorize natural disasters?
No, it's just specifically plague. A disease that is infectious, communicable disease, which spreads to different people. So that's the logic here. So it should not. That disease should remain in one particular place. It shouldn't spread to people. Because just imagine that 1/3 people die in Europe. If they would have spread more, entire world would have been affected and everybody would have died. They controlled it that time, and somehow they managed to live the rest of the Europe. And by the way, side point, that was one of the reasons it was actually turned out to be a benefit for Muslims, because that time we were ruling Spain, right? And the Christian monarchs were trying to take away the Spain, the kingdom from Muslims, and because of this they got so weak. The kings were dying from plague and they become very weak, Christian army. So we had for a longer time the Spanish kingdom, but we lost eventually everything to them. May Allah give our Spain back one day, inshallah. Another hadith mentions that a collapsed building, if a person is inside a building and if it collapsed, he dies as a shaheed. It happened many times. It's reported in many books that halaqa was going on. People were in the circles of knowledge and the wall fell and all of them died. It happened many times. I heard many times. So this is a very good death, a collapsed building. And also recently what happened in Haiti. So how many people have died in this collapsed buildings? We don't know if it was a punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but any Muslim was righteous, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of that, this earthquake or whatever, died this because of this collapsed building, inshallah. We hope that he is a shaheed. And also few people might die because of burning. They die, that is also a shaheed. For sisters, there are two categories. One of them, is a complication in pregnancy, they are among the people who will be given the rewards of a shaheed. And in one hadith it is mentioned that a woman who dies with such a complication, what's going to happen is that baby who was there inside the womb, on the day of judgment, that baby, that umbilical cord that connects the mother and the baby, she will pull that umbilical cord and make her mother come in Jannah, and she will just drag her in the Jannah. That's one thing. And also, other thing is the complication can happen in delivery as well. It's a painful process, as we know, but if something goes wrong, it can, take away the lives of both the baby and the child. So all this is being mentioned by many hadith because it's something that, for us as Muslims, as Muslim sisters, it's not something to be scared about. We have to look at it positively. If we live, everything is fine, alhamdulillah. But if something goes wrong, inshallah, in our hereafter, our akhirah, we will be classified under shaheed, and a lot of rewards for that. So always look positively for that.
It's win-win situation.
Win-win.
She survived, she have forgiven all the sins before.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right. That's
it's
another.
a win-win situation.
So always look positively. Don't be scared, and always look towards the rewards. And all this a painful process, it gets easy, inshallah. So one of the last categories is defending. So if a person is like defending his deen or defending his life, so if somebody comes up and tries to kill him or harm him, so what happens is he defends himself with something, and in the process he dies. So he is a shaheed as well. And
Deen, life, urd, man.
I have that, yeah.
Yeah.
4. Family, property. Deen, life, family, and property. And let me tell you this hadith of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's a Sahabi who came and he asked, "O Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what should I do if a man came to snatch my money?" So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam replied, "Do not give it to him. Don't give it to him." He asked, "What if he fought with me? What should I do?" He replied, "Fight him back. Fight him back." He asked, "What if he killed me?" He replied, "In that case, you will be a shaheed." Then he asked, "What if I kill him in the process?" He replied, "And that person will go in fire." Muslims, hey Muslims. So there are a lot of things that we need to do. It depends on situation and depends on people, but we shouldn't give up that easily. We should fight for it, and we shouldn't be like a coward. We should defend as much as we can. And also the hadith mentions that first try to remind that person of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, maybe because of that Allah changes him, and then fight until you defend yourself or you become shaheed. So we said 4 things: deen, life, family, and property. There's one more thing:
The urd,
defending from oppression.
the urd, which is the honor of the man, which is his wife, somebody's attacking her. Or
The family.
daughter.
I mentioned family, right?
Okay.
Yeah, family. Defending the family. So if somebody is being oppressed, maybe by a leader or by some group or some gang, again, that person, if he gets killed trying to defend himself, he is a shaheed. And that was the last one that I have in this category, shaheed. So, but do you know who's the chief of all martyrs in Islam? Hamza. Sayyidina Hamza radiallahu anhu, he is the chief. He died in Battle of Uhud, and Prophet Muhammad said that, Sahih Hadith, that he is the chief of all martyrs.